What is up? Welcome back to Under the Rim. I am your host, Rob Fox. I am joined, as always, by Dan Regester, and we're here to talk
This is March, baby.
knife fighting.
You're going to listen and you're going to watch college basketball.
You have to this month.
Nothing else on.
This is the only month where you're forced to watch college basketball.
It's when you start to care.
Yeah.
You pop in, you're like, all right, I'm going to slightly pay attention so I can figure out who I'm going to pick on my bracket.
You're gonna take way too much from like the 3 conference tournament games you watch.
Including ourselves.
Yeah. 100%.
We're casual at this.
I mean, I'm actually just gonna be a slave to Ken Palm.
You always are.
Yeah, just go Ken Palm chalk.
You're all about the numbers, the data. I'm the eye test guy.
I know.
And the eye test told me that I was right on Monday Morning Recap.
Your boy.
Dalton Knecht. What a time to drop that name.
Drops, 30-something immediately?
Guy knows ball. I tell Ross, guy to watch out for. Dalton Knecht in the tournament.
Yeah.
Then proceeds to single-handedly beat Auburn. Dropped 39, I believe, and then outscored Auburn himself in the final, 10 minutes.
Jeez. It was just him, basically, every possession?
Pretty much.
Yeah. But that's what you need in the tournament.
Transfer from Northern Colorado, fifth-year senior.
I love those upper-class transfers from small schools like that.
You need to. I mean, even remember Duncan Robinson was playing D3 basketball?
Yep.
And Michigan found him somehow?
Yeah.
Now he's in the NBA.
Unless you're
$64 million.
Unless you're going to build, basically unless you're Duke or Kentucky, maybe North Carolina.
Even if you're Duke or Kentucky, especially Kentucky, you can get one of those guys.
What I'm saying is, unless you already have a roster loaded with 5 stars, your team is not going to win in the tournament without great upperclassmen, and a lot of the ways you actually end up getting those people now.
But there's some gems.
From small schools.
There's gems in small schools because either they have a late growth spurt, which I think Duncan Robinson did, right? I think he was really good in high school, but he was only 6'2", and then in college, I think he grew to 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah. Well, a lot of times it's also just they refine their games.
Mm-hmm.
They were deserving of their 2-star ranking out of high school,
right?
And then,
but then you take over at a Northern Colorado,
yeah,
like Dalton Knecht, and then you get on the radar and you go to a big program and you still produce.
Right. Missouri had a couple guys like that last year, but the best one who ended up getting drafted by the Lakers.
Let's not even drop the name Missouri at this point because you guys are so irrelevant.
We're awful. But Demoy Hodge is one of those it's just that type of guy. He was a 5th year from Cleveland State, absolutely rained threes. It got him drafted. Just coming to the big leagues for 1 year and doing well. These dudes are fucking game changers.
Mm-hmm.
They're so fucking good.
And that's why there's no giant college basketball star initially, like a Caitlin Clark, because these guys are going to be coming from smaller schools or they're going to be a second or third year, and maybe they don't have the hype going in preseason, but they build it up throughout the season.
I mean, I'm trying to think of the last college basketball star for men. It's not that long ago, but I'm trying
to... I mean, maybe we just put our eggs in the wrong basket. Like North Carolina, everyone was just kind of hyping up the wrong dude when it should have been R.J. Davis all along.
Yeah.
Just dropped 42 against Miami.
Caleb Love was a big recruit for them, too, who he hit the game. I think he kind of single-handedly killed Coach K's career, ended it in the Final Four.
Transferred to Arizona.
He's on Arizona now, but he was a big name for UNC. But that was, I don't think, a star.
Gunslinger.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knew it was Fugazi for Caleb Love, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a total liability.
100%.
He'll have those games where he goes off, but yeah, you don't want him shooting 100 times a game.
No, and he still will.
Yeah.
For Arizona, they will lose in the second round.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
but I am very hyped about this Tennessee team.
You're a Tennessee guy
because Tennessee, Rick Barnes playing great defense, punching in the mouth, but now they have a guy that can score at will and just take over a game.
Who can take over a game, and that's huge. And he's a forward though, isn't he? Or is he a guard?
He's 6'6".
Okay, but what does he play? Because I thought
it doesn't matter. He's a small forward.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's because I was for some reason
guards don't matter. I mean, they do in the tournament, but if a small forward that can handle the ball is the same thing,
right? And speaking of important guards for contending teams, have some bad news for a contender. Marquette in a bit of an academic scandal.
Shaka, perhaps. leaving some grades on the floor?
No, I think the problem was that he wasn't. So Tyler Kolek, who was the Big East Player of the Year last year and is back this year, averaging 15 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 7.6 assists. I think at one point he had like 16 or 17 assists against DePaul. I mean, this guy's fucking incredible. He best player in the Big. He was probably going to win another Big East Player of the Year title and be an All-American. Easily, who was going to power Marquette to a run were they to go on one. He is now suspended for the rest of the regular season because not only was he averaging 48% shooting from the field, he was apparently averaging 48% on his midterms as well.
Mm-hmm.
Failed all 3 midterms that he had. Well, he said he failed 3 midterms, but I assume.
Yeah, no, it's what I said, right? Like he left. It's what fraternities would do if you had a brother or two or 12 or 22 that couldn't make grades. You leave them off the report.
Yeah.
Leave them on the court, baby.
But Shaka left him on the report. Tyler Kolek has been suspended for the rest of the regular season, at least. They're trying to figure out the rest.
Man? Why are we pretending grades in school are a thing when it comes to football or basketball?
I don't know.
Why are we doing this?
It's not. There's no point to it. They should be, as we've said before, they should be given credit hours.
Do you want these kids to go to G League Ignite? Because I don't. I don't want them to go there. I don't want them to go to these shitty organizations. They need to go.
You'll never watch G League.
No, and they suck.
Yeah.
This year. I think Adam Silver came out and said we have to consider the future of this team.
Of the league?
No, of the G League Ignite.
Oh. But I mean, like,
specifically.
In general, the G League is garbage. It's like there's no
No, there's a purpose for it though, right?
There's purpose.
But it shouldn't be for guys straight out of high school.
No, ever.
It should be guys that are trying to fine tune their game. They're like a 12th man. They're like a fringe NBA player.
Yeah.
And they can make their way through.
It's the
minor
same
leagues,
way.
yeah.
There's a lot of like AAA in baseball is kind of this way too at this point where like it is as much like prospects are getting so good so fast the way they are in basketball, right? Like they're so good so fast that they don't spend a ton of time in AAA necessarily. It's a lot of AA, single A. Then they'll come up to AAA and face those guys who are almost
for
major
a cup
leaguers.
of coffee.
Yeah.
And then, if you're staying in AAA for too long, you're never getting to the majors.
Well, so here's
typically you're like the 40-year-old Kevin Costner type,
right? Bull Durham,
or what's the game where he throws a perfect game
for the love of the game?
For the love of the game. Yeah.
So with the AAA, like essentially what the MLB uses it for a lot now is just if you are a young player there or an old player there, depth, right? When there's injuries, you reach into AAA and
bump them up because they have some good reps.
Yeah. And that's that to me is the G League. It's like their depth team.
Yeah.
It's a practice squad.
Or if a guy's going through like a tremendous slump, send him down there. You know?
Yeah. See some shittier pitching. So you could play against some shittier defense.
Guy you drafted in the second round, though, maybe he needs reps. Yeah,
like a Jokic. Did he play in G League? I wonder.
No, but I believe Duncan Robinson did.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I want to say there's a couple guys that did, but yeah, Kolek. He's suspended for the rest of the regular season. I guess he might have to retake them to play for the conference tournament and the NCAA tournament.
Oh, okay. So he's not really suspended.
No, he is out for the rest of the regular season, and I don't know. They have not really said what they're going to do to get him back on the court yet.
They'll figure it out. This is all optics. This is all, hey, we still care about our academics, and he'll be playing in the tournament.
Well, there's a bigger problem with Tyler Kolek that might make this difficult.
What's that?
Well, you see, there's some nasty rumors about his academic abilities. Specifically, it's been an open secret within Big East fan bases that apparently Tyler Kolek can't read.
I knew you were going to go there. Is this racial? Is this...
Well, he's white. So
I'm saying, is this racial? Just calling him white trash.
So a Providence fan at some point last year... So apparently what happened was Marquette released their all academic team, or for like all academic athletic department team or whatever, and everyone on the basketball team essentially except for Tyler Kolek was on that last year, And so a Providence fan started a rumor that Tyler Kolek could not read.
Providence is starting a lot of shit these days.
They start a lot of shit.
Ever since Ed Cooley left. I'm sorry, man. Sorry he left for Georgetown.
Oh, the lateral move.
It was not even a lateral move at this point.
Oh, it's a downgrade, yeah. But they got my guy Kimmy English there now at Providence.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I
But
don't know why they got so upset about Cooley.
I don't know either.
Like, he was fine, right? Like, he never really got you that deep in the tournament.
Yeah, I know. I guess it was just leaving for a rival. But is it a rival? Really?
It's Big East. I mean, yeah, in conference, that sucks.
Yeah, in conference sucks, certainly. But, like, does Georgetown look at you as a rival, Providence?
Probably not. I mean, who looks at Providence as a rival?
I don't know.
Providence is probably, again, they're just throwing whatever they can at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
But nobody really thinks about Providence.
The thing is, though, this stuck. Tyler Kolek not being able to read is now yelled at him every game in the Big East.
You can't read.
And it's become such a pervasive rumor that Marquette's compliance officer had to get on Twitter to dispel it.
Where is he from?
Tyler Kolek?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Is he a Wisconsin boy? Now, listen, if he was working on the farms, not really
I was watching some of his press conferences.
going to school.
Randomly, he's from Rhode Island.
Oh, that would, all right. So maybe, yeah, Providence would have the inside source.
Yeah.
They got the records.
Providence would know. Yeah, they could go to
So
his
he's not
high
white
school.
trash. I don't know what to think of Rhode Island as a state. I've been through it once.
I think it's there's that one. There's really, really rich people in Rhode Island.
Like, I think prestigious.
Taylor Swift has a mansion in Rhode Island. But Providence seems like a shithole.
I've been to Providence. It is kind of shithole. Yeah. But
Which do they have Brown? Is that in Rhode Island?
not sure. But I went to URI. That was whatever. I was very unimpressed.
Brown is in Rhode Island.
Okay.
It's in Providence also. So it's
like a Johnson and Wales.
yeah.
They have too many schools for how small of a state it is.
The Northeast has an insane amount of schools for how much garbage.
You can
lives
travel
up there.
through many states in the same length that it takes to get through Texas.
Yeah, you travel through like
I can essentially get to Florida
yeah,
from Pennsylvania. In the same
we're the
day.
size of France. Texas is as big as France.
Mm-hmm.
People forget.
Don't say we. I'm not we.
Yeah,
We're
we're
not
we.
we.
The
We just
state,
live here.
The state we live in, but do not claim. It's the size of France. I don't we Texas either. But yeah, so Danielle Giuseppe had to get on Twitter and literally wrote, "As the senior compliance person at Marquette, I can tell you this is unequivocally not true. This is neither funny nor appropriate. Kick rocks." I disagree with half of that.
Providence too has that, like, there's a little bit of mafia up there.
Yeah,
That's definitely like, okay. There is a white trashiness to it, but not in a way you traditionally think.
yeah. But it's like a lot of the Northeast.
Like Northeast goons.
Yeah, they don't
not
get
necessarily trailers.
but they don't get the white trash rep because their white trash is more like metropolitan, more urban. You know what I mean? Where it's not country trailers and West Virginia, Missouri, whatever.
No, they live in a shithole apartment
Right, exactly. Yeah. They live in a city, so there's somehow less garbage.
because we're coastal elites.
But yeah, as far as we know, Tyler Kolek is proving the rumors right, that he cannot read.
Mm-hmm.
So
But he can ball. So like,
he can ball.
Let him.
Real quick, before we get into this week's picks, I'll tell you where we make them. MyBookie.com. Go to MyBookie.com. Use the promo code Drinking Bros to double your first deposit up to $1,000. You put in $1,000, they'll give you $1,000. You put in $40, they'll give you $40. Whatever, whole thing. Up to $1,000, they will match your deposit. That's where we make our picks. That's where we make our live bets. I'm a big under guy. He's a big Tennessee guy. I'm really bummed that Marquette, who is one of the two teams I was rooting for hard this March, might be fucked. So I might not put money on them. Also, Kansas lost their best player, McCollum or something. Mm-hmm. He might be hurt for the year as well.
Oh, weird that the homie for Duke that got hurt from the court storming suddenly was fine.
Yeah, he's
played.
fine.
Yeah,
Just wanted to whine about it a little bit.
Went full Duke.
Went full fucking Duke. And then, by the way, shouts to Shire for taking the baton right from Coach K. Yeah, they should have outlawed court storming.
No, that was and Jay Bilas.
Yeah. Fucking dude.
The worst take ever.
Fucking dude.
He's supposed to be the sensible mind in college basketball.
He usually is.
He was a lawyer.
I was pissed when he dropped that
because
shit.
now I will only think of that, right?
I know.
He could say the most poetic, beautiful, just true, agreeable thing, and I'll be like, well, remember when you said everybody on the court should be arrested?
Rounded up? No. Trapped on the court and one by one arrested.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
So you lost all credibility.
You can't say something like that.
And I'll only remember that the rest of your career, Jay.
Yeah. Fuck you. Go to mybookie.com. W first deposit up to $1,000. Promo code Drinking Bros. Let's get into the picks. We have some incredible games this week, obviously, because the season's winding down, including one tonight that I was pretty interested in. This game's fine. It's not incredible. The rest of these games are incredible. But
good, because I'm tired of losing money on like UCLA against Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know why I took UCLA last night, but I did.
I don't know why you did either. They're bad.
They're bad, but I'm like, Washington sucks too.
Yeah.
It was at Washington. But
man, the brands in the Pac-12 have just, like, what happened?
They, as good as, maybe they sacrificed themselves, or the Pac-12 for football, it was their last year. Everybody's last year in the Pac-12, so they're like, we're gonna sacrifice college basketball for college football.
They tried.
And they got to the national championship.
Yeah, they did. It's fair.
All that for a drop of blood.
Pretty much. One game tonight, so I have the real line. I will tell you the Ken Palm line as well. We get most lines from Ken Palm because lines only come out day of. But this is the line from MyBookie. Dayton is at Loyola Chicago. Dayton is a 1.5-point favorite on the road. This is a tournament team versus a team that's not making the tournament, barring a great conference tournament run to win it all.
Which, I mean, in Sister Jean, they trust.
Yeah. She's still alive.
Yeah. She's not going to die. She's a witch.
Parker ain't there anymore.
Well, yeah, he's at Oklahoma.
Yeah. So who knows?
But they still have the power of Christ. They still have the power of Sister Jean. And by power, I mean she is literally the dark magic.
Yeah.
That she uses.
Yes. She uses, that's like Catherine Hahn, Scarlet Witch.
Talk about crisis actors.
I know. You don't believe in Sister Jean.
Where did she come from?
Curious.
All of a sudden, she just pops up
curious.
when they make a run.
Like all of a sudden, a 103-year-old woman exists.
Talk about bandwagon fan.
Yeah. She wasn't always there.
No.
It's pathetic. That's why I'm taking Dayton.
Same.
Give me Dayton.
Give me the Flyers.
Dub on the road.
Let's go Flyers.
Dayton's
really good, too.
I want to see those kids riot. They're a fun team in March. I like Dayton a lot.
I know. I think we got robbed of like an all-time tournament run for Obi Toppin.
We did. I was
because of COVID.
Dayton was like a 2 seed. That would haunt me for the rest of my life if I was a Dayton fan. I would be so fucking angry.
And he's solid in the NBA, but man, he could have been a darling for March Madness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was brutal. Next up, battle for SEC supremacy. Tennessee goes to Bama.
I mean, everyone in the SEC is pretty dope.
This is a good
I don't
league.
really buy Bama long term, right? Like they could win the SEC.
Yeah.
But in the tournament, they're scoring 100 points a game. They don't play any defense. They're just chucking threes like they always do.
Yeah.
Nate Oates, just bad guy. Their whole team just bad guys.
Yeah. I don't love them as a tournament team either.
They're all flash, no substance.
I think the theme of this week in a lot of ways is going to be tournament teams or teams that you think you like talking yourself into teams because you see their one good win in March.
Yeah, but Bama's been good all year. It's more.
Doesn't matter.
I don't think their style is
Great for March.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like Bama to win?
It's at Bama?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bama's going to win this game, bro.
I think Bama's going to win this game too. I think that's going to make people overrate Bama.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to put them deeper in the tournament than they probably should.
Bama could honestly lock down. Are they in talks of a 1 seed?
They're
I'd imagine
close.
if they
Let me
win the
check.
SEC.
There's a new bracketology just came out today.
If there are 2, though, I could totally see them losing to a 15.
The right 15,
Yeah.
certainly, because all they got to do is get cold. Purdue, UConn, Houston, Arizona are the ones right now. So they are on the 2 line, I imagine.
Yeah.
No, they're on the 3 line.
But if they win, let's say they win either the SEC regular season or even if they win the SEC tournament, I imagine that could get bumped up.
Yes, that would get them up. If they so interesting Lenardi situation, and again, he kind of gets the seeds right a lot, but like not necessarily the shakeout of the bracket. But he has it where Bama's second round matchup would probably be Wisconsin.
It's a tough Badger team.
They make you go cold. They make you cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although, man, it's been a tough stretch for the Big Ten lately.
Yeah.
In tournaments.
Well, they never do well.
I mean, they would usually at least make it out of the fucking first weekend.
Yeah, I mean, they had like Michigan in the final or whatever, but like the Big Ten.
No, they haven't won a championship since Michigan State.
Yeah, I think the Big Ten has 3 national championships in football and basketball this century.
Mm-hmm.
No, 4. 2 Ohio State, 1 Michigan, and then Michigan State.
Yeah.
It's not great for the second best conference in sport. That's less than the SEC just has in football over the course of 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's it's Big Ten's supposed to be a basketball conference.
Right. Not so much. But yeah, I like Bama here too. I think this is a overrate Bama win. Next up, Illinois at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a 1-point favorite. I love Illinois to win on the road, and a lot of people to be like, damn, they're clicking at the right time. Forgetting that,
It's
Brad.
a toss-up. It's pick 'em. I'll take the home team.
I know you take the home team. To me, this feels like a narrative win for Illinois.
Okay.
Or
Never
maybe
really trust Brad Underwood until you can, right?
never.
But Jay Wright had that fucking narrative following him.
It happens in all sports. Andy Reid had that. I mean, it is what it is.
College basketball especially. Like,
Yeah. Scott Drew.
it's very easy to get over that narrative. It's just make a Final Four, win a title.
Right.
Just gotta make one run,
Well,
and you're good.
I don't know about Jay Wright. I don't know his history as well, but Scott Drew was making run after run after run.
Nova would a lot of times get bounced in like the second round,
Yeah.
by like an 8 seed or something.
I feel like Scott Drew was like automatic Sweet 16, Elite 8 every year, but couldn't get over that weekend. And then
You got to win at least a title, because if you just make a Final Four, then it gives you some time, but then the rap comes back, like Rick Barnes.
Yep.
He made a Final Four with that like TJ Ford team. Yep. That team was pretty solid, and then it's been 20 years, so
yeah, diminishing returns. I mean, even Shaka Smart has a Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Small school though, VCU.
Yeah, it doesn't count. I like Illinois here. I like the over 8. Next up, this one's interesting. So Ken Pom doesn't always reflect injuries on their lines. Marquette
It never does.
at Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
It will eventually once the data pushes the guy out, but it won't immediately. Creighton is a 4-point favorite at home against Marquette. Marquette will be without their illiterate.
As we said. I'm going to go Creighton.
Creighton all day. Honestly, the line's probably going to be bigger than 4, I would imagine.
Yeah. I'm going to take Creighton right now, actually.
Can you?
I'm going to put that in.
That's tomorrow's game, so I don't know if there's a line yet.
Yeah. I'll see.
Okay. I am taking Creighton, though.
Or I'll set a reminder in my phone.
Yeah. Zags at St. Mary's. St. Mary's has already won the WCC regular season title. Gonzaga, with their win over USF the other day, Lenardi says they are San Francisco, not South Florida.
Wasn't that yesterday?
Yeah, says they are probably in. That probably cemented it. However,
there's so many teams that are like ranked that are still in the bubble, which is odd.
Just because Gonzaga, that was their second Q1 win of the year.
But also, like, Indiana State's on the bubble.
Yeah. And they're around the top 25. I think they dropped out.
Yeah. But, man, I need Indiana State in. I need
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Avila.
Robbie Avila. That's his nickname. Like, I didn't make that up. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Just
need him.
Google them if you haven't seen them, and you'll get why.
And I mean, they're fun. They're very Bama-esque, where they just fire threes.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That's a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
It's a fun type of team to watch for sure. I used to love the Marquette and West Virginia teams back in the day that would just rip through the West Virginia team in particular with Pitt Snoggle and forget the other guy.
Just gotta get hot.
Yeah, they were a blast.
But does Indiana State have to win their fucking conference tournament to get in?
Maybe. If they're not ranked, probably.
They could still be ranked and not make it. That'd be sick.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be so fucking funny. I kind of like Gonzaga to win this because I feel like even though St. Mary's won the conference,
They're checked out.
they're a little checked out, but also like Gonzaga still owns that rivalry. And this is just like such a little cunty big brother thing to do, is even in little brother's like best year in decades.
Gonzaga needs it more too. I'll go with the Zags.
Yeah. Another interesting line. We'll see what the actual line is, but Kansas traveling to Baylor. Baylor's a 5-point favorite. Kansas without their best player on the road.
No, you wouldn't say Hunter Dickinson's their best player.
That's all the Kansas fans are saying. It's McCollum or whatever his name is.
All right. Yeah, Baylor at home. Kansas just is awful on the road this year.
And that's going to be rough without him. What's weird with Kansas though is that they are sticking around on the 2 line even though they have really bad losses and are not going to win their conference, because they have beaten. Let me look it up again just to be certain about this, but they're
It's the Big 12, dude. It's brutal.
Nope, it's not just the Big 12.
I'm just saying, like, as a UCF fan we're like 6-9 in conference, but we have so many ranked wins.
Yeah.
And we're like a 500 team.
That was funny. Oh, they are here is their win list right now. This is fucking ridiculous. Here's who Kansas has beaten.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky, neutral site. Tennessee,
Yep.
neutral site. UConn at Allen Fieldhouse. Houston at Allen Fieldhouse.
They have great wins.
They have the 3 best wins in the country.
And
Tennessee, UConn, and Houston. They've beaten 3.
Again, they don't. But if a true road game, they're bad.
Yes. Well, they aren't playing any true road games in the tournament.
No. And all I heard was neutral site, neutral site, neutral site. So maybe sprinkle a little money on Kansas to win the Natty.
Not without their dude. Not without, or McCullough. Sorry, McCallum. I don't know why I kept saying that. Kevin McCullough. Yeah. Either way, though, insane wins for Kansas. But who knows? I like Baylor to win that. And then, finally, one more. Wow, they're really clicking game. Purdue, 1-point favorite at Illinois. The Boilermakers walk into Champaign, beat up the Illini.
This year's different.
Yeah. You don't just win on the road like that and be the same old Purdue.
Back-to-back player of the year, Zach Edey.
Oh, man, Purdue's going to win this fucking game, and people are going to be so bought in.
No one's going to be bought in.
Purdue.
I actually kind of want to zig on this, our Zag.
Okay.
Because everyone knows Purdue's a joke, right? So, like, I feel like come tournament time, they're gonna fade the fuck out of Purdue. So maybe I take Purdue to the Final Four.
We're trying to make Purdue the sharp bet by just telling everyone that Purdue's garbage.
But everyone knows that, right? Like, it's almost like it's entered the public sphere that they're a joke.
Yeah.
In the tournament, they can never get it done.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be in the public consciousness, and I think maybe you take Purdue far.
Okay. We'll see how.
I got to see how like
the bracket
lays out.
Yeah.
But
because if they get a Sweet 16 matchup against some feisty ass Big East,
even
team,
around a 32, if they catch some like really, really underperforming 8 seed that can just go off and has a bunch of talent, then yeah, I'm gonna take the fucking 8 seed. But
well, you know who's gonna be what conference is gonna be living on the
ACC?
No, the SEC is gonna be living a lot on the 6 to 10 lines.
It's deep.
It's deep, but it's like Tennessee and Bama are up there, but the rest. Like Kentucky might be a 5 or a 4, but the rest are all 6 to 10s. So there's gonna be a lot of SEC teams lurking.
Did they catch like Auburn or something?
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of those teams lurking in the middle there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it depends. It super depends on the market.
But it's almost like anyone I talk to, they're like, yeah, Purdue. Just even my friends that went to Purdue, like Randy, he's just like, yeah, man, come tournament time, it's just like, I guess, fingers crossed, we have hope, but no, we have no optimism.
At this point, I don't know how you could.
You've been bit so many times.
Yeah, you just got to wait. You just got to sit back and be like, okay.
There's only so many times a toddler can put his hand on a hot stove.
Yeah, before he starts to get disappointed by how hot the stove
Mm-hmm.
is. Last game. This is another one similar to the Kansas and Marquette Creighton game. UConn at Marquette. UConn's a 1-point favorite according to Ken Palm. Tyler Kolek not in the game.
I'll take UConn.
UConn. You might.
UConn's deep.
Yeah.
UConn perhaps doesn't have any like quote unquote stars, but they could go back to back this year.
And this would be Marquette's second game without Kolek. The Creighton game would be the first one, I believe. So they might not have their.
We're gonna get back to back losses from Marquette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's interesting. I really, really like both of the Marquette games to bet.
You
Marquette's
can't read.
Tyler Kolek can't read. You maybe heard it here first, unless you were already a Big East fan.
Unless you're walking the streets of Providence.
Yeah. But that's all I got for today. For Dan Jester, I'm Rob Fox.
Later.